Today we're going to be installing a new piece of equipment here in the coffee farm in Nicaragua. Alright, so here we have coffee that needs to be depulped. When I say depulped, means that we need to take off the cherry skin right here, see? Like that. And inside of this right here, you have the coffee bean. So this machine behind me, like that, you see? So this is called depulping, and this is a depulper. So this machine behind me here, we've had it for about 3 years in the farm, but now it's time to update it. Let me show you why. So if you look down here, if you check it out, a lot of the stuff when it depulps is still coming out as a cherry. It's not depulping everything. And it's also damaging the bean. What's happening is because it's really old and not regulated correctly, it's also chipping the bean. So it's important that we replace this during this year's harvest so we can get good quality. A brand new coffee depulper that we're going to be placing in the position of the old one that we've been using. We have our electrical plant that's going to power our tools that we're going to be using today, and we have a small engine that's going to run the depulper. We started by pulping some of the coffee that was harvested yesterday. Check out these fresh cherries. This is what makes our cup of coffee very delicious in the morning. After we depulped the coffee, we decided to remove the machine, and it was time to do some cleanup. It served its purpose and it served us well, but it's time to make some room for the new machine. We are reusing a lot of the old layout here, so what you see is very temporary because we are planning on rebuilding the whole plant in the next year or so. Now that we have the machine here, we're having a slight fitting problem because this equipment is a lot smaller than what it used to be here before, and it was designed for another depulper. So we're having issues where it's too tiny, it's too small, you see? And also we have this big wheel here that's gonna go on it, but it doesn't reach. So we gotta try. We have to try to solve something here. Oh, it might fit. Ooh, look at that! It barely fits. It barely has enough room, but that might be a problem because once we add the belt in there, it might hit. So we have to figure some things out right now. The way we're gonna solve this, because here you have a belt that drives to the engine, is we're gonna put a flank here, try to suspend this about 1 inch, and get this off the ground here a little bit further so the belt doesn't hit it, and that should solve our problems there. All right, this is the engine that we got for it here. 200 bucks for this engine here. Oh my God. The 6.5 horsepower engine right here. No tiene la pala, ¿verdad? Un poco ahí. Right now we have the plant secured here to these planks. Of course, this is all temporary because in the future we need to rebuild this in the next 2 years, but we need to get through this harvest season. And it's pretty solid. We gave it enough lift off the ground so we can get the belt driven in there. So now we're gonna take care of this engine here and install it right now. All right, we're ready to rock. We got the depulper secured here, set to go. We have the belt with the suspension we did. Everything is cleared. We had to do this temporary table here to suspend the engine, and the engine is now suspended, and it is also bolted down there. So everything is strong and sturdy here. Got it on, baby. So we just ran some coffee and we had some problems. The machine I don't think is adjusted correctly because we're still getting coffee that's not being pulped. So we need to go ahead and adjust the machine. So we're gonna have to open this up here and see how we can adjust it before we can continue with production right now, because that's just way too many cherries coming out of the machine there. So what we're looking at here is you take a peek inside here, and that wheel, that spacing that you see in there, so supposed to be tighter together so you don't have as much coming out without being depulped. So we're gonna have to adjust these bolts here and get this part closer to the cylinder so we can close that gap, and hopefully that fixes this issue here, because we have a lot of coffee waiting up here to come down, be depulped for today. So let's go give it a shot. All right, we tried our best to adjust the machine, but we couldn't get it 100%. It's only about 70%. It is still throwing pulp through one of the sides. Let me show you here. You see all that pulp down there? Shouldn't be there. It should only come out through this side here. So we almost got it adjusted correctly, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna go look for our neighbor who's a professional at this. But for today we're gonna use it as is because we need to depulp some of the coffee that's been waiting up there 24 hours. So let's go ahead and turn the machine on and let's see how everything works. So we have to pack this coffee. This coffee was washed about 2 days ago, so we need to bring it back down into town to go dry it in my backyard, because here in the farm there's too much humidity, so you can't really dry coffee all the way over here. Although it's nice sun today and it helped get it as dry as possible, it still needs about maybe 2 more weeks under the sun. So we're gonna pack this up and bring it with us. Well, the bummer for today is that we couldn't get the machine calibrated. The positive news for today is that we did get the motor installed and everything else. It does turn on and work, but the calibration's off. So we're gonna go have to hunt for our neighbor in order for him to help us calibrate this machine. But what a day. What goes on behind a cup of coffee, I tell you, it's a lot. What I'm doing today, I'm sure tons of other farmers have been through it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully the machine's calibrated by then.